I try to find experienced people because that sort of shortens it in terms of training them. They still have a lot to learn about safety and function and protocols I like to implement. That's important. Safety of these kids is paramount. So experience is usually necessary. I've tried the route of having people with no experience. That makes it easier, but their interest is sometimes waning. So the hardest part for me is teaching, getting staff trained sufficiently and keeping people's children safe and learning basic tumbling skills. The liability is it's big, it's high, it's on people's lives. And so I have a very difficult time trying to scale my business because of that, because I care so much about the safety of the children.
Yeah.
Be a multi-million dollar business in 2 years if I just started doing what everybody else is doing. I could just hire anybody, say, hey, you had experience, you did gymnastics in high school, you can come teach. That's generally the staff other clubs have. They have people that were very low level understanding athletes, and they just, hey, you can breathe, you have both feet, both hands, you can talk. I need you to get in here and teach these how to do cartwheels, blah blah blah. It's unsafe. I mean, how do you think in your business scaling? How do you look at yourself scaling something and being able to control it, but not
So
reduce your ability to grow?
trademark and quality control. And then what I'm doing is, one, I'm deeply involved, and I can hear it in the way you describe certain things. Like, it almost makes me drool thinking about it intellectually, because I know I could sit and ask you about, tell me about back tuck, and we'd be here for 4 hours, where you're going over nuance of like specific muscles and the way it controls the speed that you flip, the height that you jump, all this stuff, this nuance. I'm deeply involved in what I'm teaching. What I have done personally, because I can only control me, is trademark and then extremely heavy digital supplementation, which means I'm even developing teacher training materials in an online form to supplement the students. And when somebody, Jennifer Brooks, is getting ready to teach a class in Washington State, she would be the first teacher trainee essentially teaching one of my classes in another state. But I'm doing live consults with her to be able to educate, share, and I'm trying to get her to film her class so that I can watch it and go, okay, I want you to change this. I think this will work better for the students. I think it'll work better for you as a teacher. I'm still heavily involved in that ongoing mastery, that being an autodidact and like figuring out what works and doesn't work. It's not because I want things to be regimented or so structured that it's dry, but the students do need enough of a path laid out by you and I to feel comfortable. And I'm a big fan, this is me, we teach very physical disciplines. I wouldn't want to learn gymnastics from YouTube videos alone.
Hold on. Please.
Right? Yeah. But once you have some basics, you can pick up new stuff. It's kind of like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They go and train, but could you watch it? Oh yeah, you could watch a YouTube video and pick up a tip or pick up a technique. The digital supplementation is inexpensive and it's more scalable. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I need to, because I'm struggling with that right now. I lost 7 coaches when COVID hit, and I'm down to just myself and one other coach who's graciously continuing his time here. He's graduated from college, he has another job, but he's worked with me for a long time, so he's still giving me some assistance. But I've for the last 8 months, at least 8 months, I've been on Indeed. I've been blasting social media, handshake into colleges, posting anywhere I can. And I'm having just now, I know a lot of companies are having that same problem right now, but it's just tremendously hard right now to find anyone willing to work with even level of experience. And I've upped my rate of pay tremendously.
I think in your case, you need very specific teachers, which if you're going to do anything remotely similar, I'm always going to extrapolate from my own business. You're going to have to get very hands-on in the teacher training process and building the teachers that you want, and then continuing that nurturing and development over time. Because I think as physical disciplines, what we're teaching takes time. It's not just an intellectual exercise.
Yeah, certainly not just folding a t-shirt. And most of my success, and I would imagine with you, you're going to have the same type of happenings. Usually the coaches I have, I grow them from within the program.
Yes.
They were
Yes.
students, they become coaches,
Yep. And that's the same process I've gone through. I make it extremely affordable and easy for the students to come along. And also, in my experience, because I'm trying to build a brand, because I'm trying to scale the business, they have to get along with Robert's personality, which means they have to have a great deal of compassion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I'm pretty easy to get along with. All the coaches I've had, they've always enjoyed my personality. I take them out to, let's see, once a month, I would take everyone out to dinner at some fancy restaurant. Kind of build some camaraderie and morale. I would
Yeah.
do that, even though I didn't always want to. It was good to do so.
There's a certain, if you get a strong tribe growing, I definitely run my business. So yeah, the bills got to get paid, but I'm really trying to build a group of people who have a belief system. They believe that what we're doing is better for the world, and they're just fiercely dedicated and committed to helping me build. Like the real followers, the people who would go to the end of the earth to help you keep building. That's really what I'm trying to build at the moment. The early adopters, the ones who are like, yes, there needs to be more of this in the world. Because I can teach people techniques, but I can't really teach belief, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let me ask one thing I saw you doing in the last 5 or 6 years. Well, with COVID, time is a blur. But I remember when I was watching you post about, you're like, I'm going to go this online route.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, and I as well was like interested. It's like he's gonna do this online. Like, how is he going to take? And it's very physical. Now you can certainly, I can see how I can now see it. I've watched you do it, and I can see it easily. I was skeptical, but man, once I saw, it's like, oh, that was easy. So you completely just changed my mind in an instant on transferring it to an online
It's always a
option.
supplement. Like understand this. So okay, for instance, massage therapists, I have this conversation in business classes all the time. They're like, I like word of mouth. And I go, this is digital word of mouth. Scales globally. And they're like, no, I like word of mouth. And I'm like, this is digital word of mouth that scales globally.
So you're in the position now, even
Stack
though
layers.
you're posting a lot of your content, but what you're really are you really trying to gather new students that can physically teach via your supplementation of the
So
videos?
why do I put so much video on social media?
Oh, that was a question.
Yeah.
You're asking why? Well, I mean, I put a lot of video on social media too because the more I put out there, the more people see what I do. They see my content. Hopefully, it's cheap, easy marketing. Boom, it brings people back to me.
So the thing is, I had this thought years ago with YouTube. I started putting stuff on YouTube, and I think I made like a shoulder video, and I'm like, why would anybody come take a class with me when they can just watch the YouTube video? But that's not how it works. If I produce, like, there's 1,400 videos on my YouTube channel right now. I've had people say, nah, I'm not going to subscribe to his thing because I could just watch his YouTube channel. How many people watch my YouTube channel to study from?
Probably very, very small amount.
Why did they pay me $7 to get access to that 800-hour vault of full classes?
That's somebody that's far more interested.
A little more depth. Who buys workbooks, DVDs, Thai Massage Jam t-shirts, engages in the Facebook group, decides to come take an it is layered.
Layered.
It's not repeat. It's always going to be a physical discipline that will never change. But I'm layering the digital curriculum on top because it's essentially a very cheap, inexpensive, scalable funnel to get them involved and go, dude, this shit is, I'm like, the more, because my industry is like, this isn't massage. And I go, no, it's this. But the more video I show, mat base, mat base, mat base, mat base, mat base, mat base, becomes normal.